If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna
Hey everyone, this is Alex. Before we start the podcast, I have just a bit of a special announcement to make. Today is the day which marks the day in which our baby meme boy turns into a baby meme man. That's correct. It is Matty's birthday, and I would like to wish Matty a happy birthday.
I would too.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Matty.
Aw. Wow, that's so sweet. I thought, thank you guys. Anyways, let's start the podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the Indieheads podcast. I'm your host, Matty, aka Recon IG, aka Birthday Boy, aka the Meme Master. On this week's podcast, we have...
Hey, I'm Alex, aka Tatios NG. Okay, yes, I will be on.
I'm AJ, aka I've been banned from Reddit.
Oh, wait, I'm not even Tatios NG anymore.
You're Tatios
I'm
Flamby.
Flambe.
Flambe.
Flambe!
I don't know what the origin of that is.
I kind of just shouted out.
Okay, hold on.
Nice.
Stefan, you didn't introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, Stefan, user Apotheosis91, aka hasn't been on the podcast in a while, aka Rusty, aka mediocre Twitter feed. Let's do it.
Okay, so now we were thinking about how we're gonna approach this podcast, because obviously the main topic is going to be Kanye West, The Life of Pablo, and we're like, okay, well, should we still have some indie stuff in there? Should we have some news? Should we have some what we've been listening to? And I decided to say, hold on, and yes, we are going to. So we're going to start up with what we've been listening to this week. And okay, hold on a second. All right, psych. We're talking about The Life of Pablo. Whole podcast. This entire podcast is dedicated to the life of Pablo. Okay, I feel like Pablo when I'm on the Indieheads podcast. I feel like Pablo when I'm shit posting on Twitter. I feel like Pablo when I'm shit posting on r/Indieheads. Okay.
Indie Rock is dead.
Indie Rock is dead. Hip hop will live on. Shout out to Pitchfork. More like
Rest
Pitch
in
Door.
peace, Animal Collective 6.2. It's over.
It's over. 6.2. Nah, you been
Band is
dropped. Drop. Okay, that's really awful. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Let's just get right into the discussion about.
Let's talk about
Wait,
this.
are we
album.
skipping the news? I thought we were doing news.
I didn't
No,
know.
you
Like, do
fell
we want
for
to
it.
do
No
news? I
news.
mean, we can, but
Okay.
I mean,
But
you can
play
tell me
the
the first. I know you're excited about
Conchords.
the first part, Alex. Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna do
okay,
news before we
okay.
get to the Kanye discussion.
All right. My favorite, fourth most popular folk parody band has reunited, and they're playing in Newport, which is like 20 minutes away from my house, and I'm gonna see them.
Actually, shit.
And that's so exciting. It's a blast. I'm very excited. And then next in the news, Animal Collective is playing Alvin Rowe, apparently, and I'm gonna see them on
Spoil-
Monday.
Actually,
And
people
that's-
you have to mark this as a spoiler alert because people are actually upset.
Trigger warning.
It was blacked out on the Animal Collective subreddit. And it was like, oh, they played a song last night. Don't click this if you want to see what it was. I was like, oh, it's fucking Alvin Rowe. They got
Why would who even cares if you get spoiled? Like, no, I don't want to know what they play. Like, just
That's
don't
the
listen.
weirdest-
You can know what they play. Just don't
I
fucking
get
listen
that.
to
Part
it.
of it's like it's because of what the song is, you know. It's like one of the most popular Anko songs from like their early career, and
Well,
they've
it's like
never
one of the
done it
best
before.
songs ever. Also,
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. I'm
so I
again.
get how it could be exciting. Imagine if like Death Grips had never played. Like, what's your favorite Death Grips song, Matty?
Oh, okay. If they play no, okay. Now here's what I'd freak out about. Okay, if they played the entire Niggas on the Moon album in full live, that would be the equivalent of them playing Alvin Rowe.
Okay, all right. So imagine if they'd never played Redacted on the Moon, any of the tracks, and then you go see them, or you're planning on going to see them. They're on a tour, and then the first show of the tour, they play the entire album and nothing else.
I mean, I actually get
important
that.
for
Like,
people
I
who
was gonna.
still care.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would. And here's the thing with that. Oh, I don't want to be
If-
spoiled.
if
I don't
it's
give a
Stan,
shit if I'm
it's
spoiled. Like,
exciting.
I got
It's
spoiled
like-
about. Hold on, is it okay? Can we talk Force Awakens spoilers at this point? Like,
Wait,
it's been
talk
so many
about
months since
spoilers?
it's come out. Like, whenever, like, hold on, if you haven't watched The Force Awakens and you're still wanting to see it, spoiler alert.
Oh.
If
it's
you
like,
haven't seen, hey, I want to cut in here too. If you haven't seen Star Wars: The Force Awakens yet, what the fuck is wrong with you?
okay, has everyone here seen
is
Force
wrong?
Awakens? Has everyone?
Yes.
Okay, it's like when it's whenever it was all like revealed that that Kylo Ren killed Han Solo and that he was Kylo Ren was Han Solo's kid. Like I knew that's where going in the movie, and it didn't ruin it for me. So if I learned that they played Alvin Rowe live, and I was a huge fucking Animal Collective fan, which I do like Animal Collective. I haven't gotten like super into them, but I really love like Strawberry Jam.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, no, it's ruined. It's ruined. It's just ruined. I wouldn't be like that at all.
I get both perspectives, but I get the thought that like you kind of feel like maybe you've now missed out on the chance to go in and have that surprise, you know?
Sure.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
But
guess
Just how about just
But
don't
I
use
would-
how
I
about,
would-
okay,
I
my
wouldn't
idea
be
for these
too
Animal
upset
Collective
about
fans. Hold on.
I'd just be excited about the idea that maybe they'll play it again and maybe I'll see it live, you know? Which I
If they
am.
don't play it, I'll be so upset when I see them.
Yeah, it'd be terrible
Yeah, that
if
would
they
suck.
just
That was
never
a one-off.
play it ever again.
I feel like again, if they just did it for
they
one
tease
show,
it.
it'd be so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on the rest of the tour, they just start playing the first like minute or so and then stop.
However, you know what I'm mad about? Okay, you know what I'm mad about Animal Collective right now? From what I saw from their set list that they played like was it last night?
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
There was no Strawberry Jam songs on there. No Strawberry
They
Jam.
do.
Yeah.
They cycle their stuff very strangely. Like they'll play most of the newest album, and then they'll just like pick songs that they haven't played in like a very long time. And they did a lot of Strawberry Jam on the Centipede Hertz tour, and so this one is more.
It's a lot more
think
feels I see.
It was feels,
But-
yeah. They played a lot of feels stuff, which is cool.
And I
They
don't,
did?
It's like I feel like I'm trying to figure out why. I can't just be like, oh, we just don't feel like playing the songs. It's like
Yeah.
I would say that Painting With it's an album that wasn't like Amy Terra's divorce album, but it was sort of like pre-divorce album, like where he was like, there are lyrics in there that's like, oh shit, he's like signaling that there's like something bad's about to happen to him.
You're talking about Down There, right?
No. Down There was his divorce album. Strawberry Jam is like his pre-divorce.
Oh, I
album.
thought. Okay, never mind.
Which I think whenever they do their... Oh, by the way, Animal Collective, they're doing an AMA on the subreddit on February 25th.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're irrelevant and dead. So
Yeah.
I'm probably going to ask AB about Down There since, like, I don't hear many people talking about that album. I think it's a fantastic
That's a
album.
good ass album.
It is, okay, unpopular opinion, I think it's the best solo Animal Collective album.
Rip.
I think it's better than Person Pitch.
I'm sorry that
Well,
your opinions are
yeah.
objectively wrong and stupid.
Yeah,
And I'm
well,
sorry, Alex, that you're going to get fired after this podcast for disagreeing with me.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
Okay, so, yeah,
Right.
that's about... Is
And
that
then,
all it
and then
is?
our last piece of featured news was that Pavement is in talks of making more music, although probably Malkless.
Wait, is this actual news?
Yes, yeah. They I think it literally started by one of the band members posting on the Facebook saying, "Here's an idea. What if we just got everyone in the studio, maybe even Malk, and just see what happens." And,
Oh no, this
and-
is bullshit. I'm
yeah.
looking this up. I'm looking this up right now. I call bullshit on this news because there's no fucking link. Because you didn't put a link in the goddamn
I
description.
did not put a link, but it's on their Facebook page.
Okay, I'm gonna
like,
look.
their official page.
All right, so Digmic. Okay, Record Store Manager.
Pavement, the rock band.
Yeah, I'm
Here,
looking
I
it up
can-
right now.
I can link it.
Oh shit, it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Just a
It's
fun
very
idea.
real.
Invite all of them our members. And he links
I'm
it.
not sure if it'll actually happen, but you know, they said something.
Okay, well that's
Exciting
fucking
that they're
what?
even posting on their Facebook page at all.
Alright, then that's weird. Okay, that's actual news. I didn't. Okay, well thank you, Alex. I'm sorry I called you out for being a liar when that wasn't
Yeah.
true at all.
Protect Alex.
Okay, this again. Of course, that was our special Pavement segment. Did I say Pavement?
Pavement.
Pavement.
Pavement
I'm
is a
thinking of
band.
peg. I don't know why when I think of Pavement, it made me think about that scene in Deadpool where like he gets pegged by his girlfriend. Is that
Deadpool
spoilers?
spoilers.
Let's
yeah,
never
spoilers.
talk about Deadpool ever again.
It's completely
Spoilers.
outside of my cultural sphere, so fuck it.
Wait, don't you live in Vancouver, Stefan? Or
I live in
Stefan?
Edmonton.
Okay, never mind then. I'm dumb. Okay,
Yeah,
anyways,
not
we should
Vancouver.
probably get into the life of Pablo. Do we want to talk about what we've been
Slop.
listening to this week besides the Life of Pablo at all?
Nothing. There's
No.
nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay,
We can.
anyway, so let's get into the Life of Pablo by Kanye West. Of course, the very anticipated 7th album from Kanye West. has had possibly the worst album rollout in the history of the music industry.
I'm gonna call it one of the most
Guys,
interesting rollouts.
It's
Like,
interesting, but it's fucking awful.
It's weird.
I dropped my phone on my keyboard and closed the Skype call.
Good
Sorry.
job.
I
Okay,
think you just
anyway.
took yourself out for a minute. The rest of us stayed up.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, God, so going into this album, I'm just gonna talk about like what I was feeling. So 2015, I was generally underwhelmed by what most of Kanye was doing. I liked, but I wasn't like a super big fan of like most of the singles he's putting out. Like I liked Only One, but it didn't really have like that much lasting value with me. I thought All Day was really between that line of mediocre and just okay. What else were those the only two singles he put out in 2015?
No, there was I mean, the only two he put out officially, but there were other songs. There was Wolves and there was Fade.
Oh yeah, Wolves I was sort of underwhelmed by. I didn't really care for as much. Fade, I skipped that one. The best solo single he actually put out was a fucking like demo for Rihanna, in my opinion, was that Midas Touch song that leaked.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was my favorite, honestly. And I also liked his verse on Smuckers. Hold on a second, I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh yeah, the Smokers verse is pretty good.
That was probably the best thing he did in 2015. Yeah.
Actually, the best thing in 2015 was the thing he did at the end of 2015. Facts. Just kidding. It was, oh my god. And Facts
is like the worst song ever made.
Facts is the worst Kanye. I think
To be
Facts
honest.
is the worst song Kanye has ever made.
Jesus
definitely.
Christ, you guys.
Definitely the
Oh my
worst
God.
song. No, hear me out. Definitely the worst song he's ever released. I don't know about made. Like, probably when he started off, it was just terrible.
I guess-
Okay, you know what I mean,
guess
Alex. You don't have to be
The
like.
fact that it's
Yeah.
on an actual album is pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, hold
Yeah.
on. The Facts. I think the reworked version on this album is so much better. Like,
Oh,
holy
so
shit,
much
he
better.
actually
It's
turned it
hype
into a
as
good
fuck.
song. That's crazy.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's definitely a lot better. I would
Okay,
not
Yeah,
say
it's
it's a good
improved, but
song.
it's not like
It's some of
passable.
his worst lyrics, just period.
that's true.
We'll
Okay.
get to that
Okay.
later, I guess.
Anyways,
Yeah.
as I was saying, so going into 2016, the fucking weird ass hype this album had, where he kept changing the name and the track list, and he'd be posting these awful tweets like "Bill Cosby innocent." You go, what the fuck is
Yay!
going on with Kanye right now?
I broke up with Kanye briefly because of this rollout.
I think I'm still broken up with Kanye at this moment.
Oh,
I'm not
Kanye,
sure.
okay. Can we talk about how like he released this album and then just the world decided like, oh, we actually hate Kanye. Like, fuck that. Fuck this. Does this happen every time Kanye releases an album? Just like, because he's like all over the news now and everyone's just like, oh yeah, fuck Kanye West. Like he's done. It wasn't this bad with Yeezus, which is a worse album, but
Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. Okay,
Yeah,
no.
okay,
no,
wait,
first things
wait
first.
up,
Saying
hold
Jesus
up.
is worse than
Hold
this
up.
album. Hold up. Pump brakes, kid.
hold up.
Okay, anyways, but yeah, Kanye, I feel like it's so weird because this album, in some ways, this album is like, I want you guys to like me again. In some, like, with some of the lyrics, it's like, I want you guys to like me again.
Yeah,
But there's also
I
some
kinda-
stuff he
I
says in
kinda
here
get
that's
that.
like,
It's like
what the
a-
fuck? Like, oh god, we'll get into it. We should. Do you guys want to say anything about like how you felt going into the Life of Pablo?
yeah, I'll chit chat a little bit. I was, I mean, yeah, like this is one of the albums like we were expecting to drop literally like out of the blue in 2015. Like, oh, we're gonna get this album this year, right? Pretty much radio silence from Kanye as far as the album went, and then just I guess it turned 2016, and he was like, oh yeah, I gotta release this album eventually, and it was a complete and total shit show. Is a complete and total shit show. I'm never using fucking title. Like this album, people have been saying that this album is like video game DLC, and it literally is because it sounds unfinished. It's thrown together. It's mashed together. It feels like it came together at the last minute, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's good. it's like snippets. It's kind of like
I think-
snippets. Like if you
Yeah.
I don't know, like if a rapper drops snippets like before they release their album and you just listen to those over again, you're like, damn, that moment was awesome. And that's just the album. It's just
Yeah,
a
this
series
is
of
an-
awesome snippets.
This is an album of awesome, or this is an album of awesome moments. Like I keep
Yeah.
listening because like I'll go back to it and I'll be like, oh, I want to hear the beginning of Waves again or whatever, and then FML will come
Yeah.
on and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll just keep listening. Like
Yeah. My favorite moment on this album is one of my favorite moments in his career too. It's the beginning of fucking Father Stretch My Hands.
Oh
part
my
one.
God.
Okay,
Yes.
I want to.
Where
Yes.
you got the gospel samples, and that's awesome. Then they go kind of dissonant, and that's awesome. and then the
You got
beat
those
sort of
industrial
starts coming
synths
in,
come in.
and then the hi-hats drop, and Cuddy comes in.
The
he's just
Metro
like,
tag.
The Metro tag!
The Metro tag! Yes,
The
it's
Metro.
perfect.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's
Okay,
it's
I
one
wanna
of the
actually
best moments of his career, period.
Yeah, I want to talk about this moment because I actually agree with that. But like, what happens right after this moment is so emblematic of like the central problem of this album for me is like, yeah, you get like one of the best moments songwriting wise of Kanye's
Yeah.
career. Like, it's gorgeous, and you're just like, fuck, this is so great. And then if I just fuck this model, and you're like, god damn it, why can't we have nice things?
Oh my god, I do want to talk about how it's like this. It starts off so well. It's one of the. It seems like holy shit, this is gonna be a god tier Kanye song. This is gonna be one of the best songs ever made. And then if I fuck this model and she just bleached her asshole, and I just got like on my t-shirt.
Okay.
I'm gonna feel like an asshole, and you go fucking goddamn it, Kanye, motherfucker.
I love Father John Misty's reworks of those lines. Honestly. My favorite is the one where he ends with "I'ma feel like a t-shirt."
Yeah.
we should
the,
we
like-
should link those in the description. Just to
I'll try to. Okay,
Yeah.
but we should. Okay, let's start from the beginning of this album. Okay, so we start off with Ultralight Beam, which is a fantastic track. I think we all can agree with that. Fantastic track. You have
So
the
Chance's
beginning.
verse is amazing. Obviously,
Oh my
everyone's been saying that.
It's probably the best Chance verse since like Acid Rap.
Acid rap.
Yeah, I haven't heard
definitely.
anyone rap like that since Acid Rap. Like, it was just, I don't know, it felt like a breath of fresh air from Chance too. And like,
Yeah.
watching the live stream when this song started, like, it restored so much faith in Kanye for me because, like, I don't
And
know,
then
just seeing the stream
lost it.
actually start and like everyone listening to it was like, oh, this feels like a special cultural moment. Like, something is happening
Yeah.
right now.
And then
And then he fucking ruined it. No. Okay, but yeah, again, it's so good. You have the beat is really nice. I really like the drum patterns, like the sampled drums are really cool, where it kind of comes in and out. It's like it just sounds so epic, and it's awesome. And what I like about Chance's verse, though, I think I said this in my video review if you guys watched it, was that he sort of grounds the song back in earth a little bit. He's like,
yeah.
it's bringing all these epic proportions, but he's like, no, let me bring us back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me.
That's a really good thought. Chance is a very human moment in that song, and he's like that's a lot of the appeal of Chance too, because what he brings to his music is just down to earth, like earnest, like relatable lyrics a lot of the time. And that's what I love about Chance, and that's what I love about his verse.
Yeah, I think the verse is definitely very human and vulnerable, and like especially some of the moments like when he starts saying, "This is my part, nobody else speak." Like, you
Yeah,
almost feel like
yeah.
he's ad-libbing that. Like, it feels just so heartfelt and genuine.
And
And, like, that's what I love
the best-
about a lot of Chance verses. Even if they're pre-written, they just feel like he's going at it in the studio and just like following his mind wherever it takes him. And it just so happens that the result is something cohesive and great.
Mhm.
The best part about Chance's verse is like, especially on the SNL performance, he's so fucking excited to be with like on a Kanye West song. You can tell it, and like Chance probably put more thought and conscious effort into his one verse on this one song than Kanye put on all of his bars on this album put together. Chance was like, every single word has to matter, every single syllable
Yeah.
has to like blow people's minds, and Kanye was like, t-shirts with bleach and ass.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
that's nitpicking, but no, Chance's verse is really like he's so it's like celebratory, and he talks about I met Kanye West, I'm never gonna fail, because Kanye like means a lot to Chance, obviously, but it's just really cool to see him, who's still an unsigned rapper, like on this album, on this song, and you can tell Kanye also looks up to him too. It's a really cool thing. It's like a cool cultural hip hop moment that's like good for you
Yeah.
both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, okay, I do want to say though, I think this is a great song. It's a great intro, but for this album, like you go, wow, this is a great intro, but then you realize how the album is structured afterwards, and you go,
Yeah,
Oh.
it's kind of weird. Ultralight Beam is definitely like the most and perhaps only cohesive song on this album.
Here's
And I
Also,
don't
think it's, like-
necessarily see that as a bad thing, but it is definitely like, I don't know, kind of a
disappointment.
not
It's
a
a-
disappointment. I like it, but it's like a surprise. I don't know.
Mhm.
I had a better analogy. But...
Also, it's kind of where this album was. I think for some time was originally going to be the outro of the album.
Yeah,
and then all of a
I
sudden
think-
it's the intro. And
Yeah.
it's like, huh?
I think Ultralight Beam could just as easily have been the outro to the album, the last song.
See,
I think it just as
I don't
easily.
know.
I think thematically yes, but sonically the
Sonically,
song
I
just-
think so.
I think there's someone who made like a real I think someone made like a playlist that's like the revised version of the album that was like one of the original
Yeah.
track lists that Kanye posted. And I think I want to say this album was the outro of that, and I still need to listen to that playlist
Yeah,
because
I definitely want to check that out.
I think a complaint that we're all going to say throughout this entire discussion is that Jesus Christ, the track listing on this album is bad. It's not very good.
There's no cohesion whatsoever.
I would,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
I
say
will
that
argue
actually-
that a little bit. I think the segment of FML to Wolves, that is somewhat cohesive.
I'm actually gonna say the
Somewhat.
opening
Yeah.
is the most cohesive section. Like
Yeah,
Ultralight Beam through
absolutely.
Famous, actually, that sounds like, and I was gonna say like Ultralight Beam sounds like the intro to the album we didn't get, or that like Kanye just didn't follow through on, because after Feedback, it takes a complete left turn and never comes
Yeah.
back.
I agree with that.
Agreed. It feels kind of like two projects sort of smashed together or something.
Well,
Yeah,
in a
def-
lot of ways, it's a combination of his entire discography, and people have been saying that. But like, you can get serious vibes from other albums on it. Like, Freestyle number 4 was reminds me of Yeezus, and just in its intensity and energy, and like Real Friends sounds a lot like late Registration era Kanye.
Yeah, I will agree with it, son. You have like in some songs you have the soul of College Dropout, the orchestral
Yeah.
elements of Late Registration, the bombast and arena feel of Graduation, the auto-tune and R&B elements of 808s, the epicness and like rock and roll kind of feel of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and the industrial elements of Yeezus. And it still feels like a new Kanye album though, where it's not like
Yeah,
it still feels like a whole
Kanye's-
unique experience.
It feels like modern day Kanye's take on his past works, like
And that idea sounds
I,
really cool.
I think that's cool. I like that aspect of it. Like, I really love this album. I'm not gonna have much critical to say about it, but
I can't.
But, yeah.
If you asked me let's see, a few days ago that if I love this album, I would tell you yes. But at this point, I can't say I love this album.
Here's
I love
one
moments
thing
on
I
this
find.
album.
I love songs, yes. I think there's songs in here that are fantastic, but as an album, it just does not like it should. It comes so close because there's so many good songs in here that could come together really well, but they don't, and it's just like, God fucking damn it! It's frustrating. Is what this album is.
Here's the strangest thing about this album. I want you guys to reflect on this for a second. We are talking about an album right now that, as of the time we're recording this podcast, is less than a week old. The album has been out for less than a week, and it's already gone through such a tumultuous cycle of what the fuck is this to this is incredible to I don't think I like this anymore. So I'm curious to see how the reception of this album will end up, and also if it gets re-released, reordered, reproduced.
Oh, yeah, we
if
should
it
mention
gets
that.
he says he's going to change it, and I 100% believe that for like a physical or
Yeah.
iTunes release, that it will not be the album we're discussing right now, which is strange.
Yeah.
Parts might be cleaned up, lyrics might be changed, different samples might be used, the orders might be different. I think that's definitely going to happen. Even if it's like a deluxe version, I definitely think there will be a re-release of this album in a different structure than what we're talking about right now.
This album, it's
God,
a
I
fucking
hope there's a
beta.
deluxe.
The album is a beta. That's
Yeah.
what
This
it
is literally
We're
a beta.
playing we're listening to a fucking beta of an album, and it's like, it's so frustrating
We
because
went on
like a
Steam
beta,
Greenlight.
there's some really good stuff here, but then you get those bugs, and you go, oh,
I'm gonna feel like a
okay.
t-shirt.
Jesus
Can we make
Christ.
that the title of this podcast?
What?
The title of this podcast is "We Love Kanye."
Yeah, duh. Except, well, okay. Anyways, let's get to part 2 because we already talked about part 1. I think a bit in depth. Part 2, that's just like hard cut transition between part 1 and part 2. I like that. That's perfect. Where it's
Yeah.
just all of a sudden you go dun, 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 and then you have Kanye's lyrics, which are like sort of like fast paced, but they're still like there's still some like real emotional value in those lyrics. They're still well written. They're simple,
Yo, yeah.
but
it's
you still get a
Benji's
lot of
stuff.
emotional value out of those lyrics in the way that Kanye's saying them. And then it goes into to Designer, aka Fufer's verse. It's
Okay,
just like holy shit! It is.
Hold on.
What? Hold on. Okay.
Have
I'll
you
leave.
heard? Have you listened to the original Panda by
Yeah,
Designer?
yeah, I have.
So it's not a verse, and I'm curious if Kanye was just like, "Oh, this is a cool song. You want to come like do it again?" Or he just straight up kind of like was like, oh, we'll just use this because like
Well, the thing is, he signed Designer to his label, so
yeah,
and he was on Freestyle 4, so I feel like maybe he came in to help him do the rework.
Okay, I just find it a little. It was kind of weird when I was like, "Oh, Father Stretch My Hands Part 2 is fucking lit." Who's ever doing this chorus? I did think it was Future at first.
I think everyone did.
Yeah.
Who's ever doing this? This is fucking lit. This is insane. And then I listened to Panda and I was like, "Oh, it's just kind of it cheapened that for like that was such one of my favorite moments on the Life of Pablo." And then to find out it was an already existing song was a little disheartening.
It's still lit though. I
love
it so much. It's so much.
Lit as fuck.
It's just it makes me want to dance, and I'm like, ah. It's so even though it's a Future ripoff, even though it's like a rip of Designer song. I think Kanye going in and doing like those ad-libs also helps a lot. It adds to the litness of it.
It's better than the original song.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, part 2. Just Stephanie, did you want to say anything about part 2?
Yeah, part 2, I don't know. I haven't found like a concrete opinion about this track yet. Like part of me feels like it's almost a little unnecessary. Like the song just keeps going and doesn't do anything else. But then also you look deeper into Kanye's verse, it's actually one of his more interesting verses on the album.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, this album or part 2 is one of those songs I still feel really conflicted about its place on the album. But I mean, it's more the vibe from part 1, so I can't really complain about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the beat change when Designer comes in.
Oh yeah.
It's not like a beat change, but it just adds those ridiculous ad-libs in the back and it just makes the track. Like at first I did feel like it was just kind of unnecessary, like Stefan, sorry.
Right.
And but I don't know, I've grown to really appreciate it because it's just like in a way, I feel like it's almost like the album itself, where there are kind of two halves to it, like two completely different vibes. I didn't see it as a continuation of the vibe because part 1 feels all happy and sunny, and then part 2 is kind of dark and experimental, and that's
true.
kind of like the album itself, and it's kind of like Kanye's career because his first few albums were upbeat and bouncy and fun, and then you get to like 808s and MBDTF and Yeezus, and it's just sad and dark and angry and experimental. And I don't know, making some broad statements here.
Mm-hmm.
I
just
agree
want to go on the
that,
next track,
actually.
or
Yeah. Okay, can we okay, the next track is Famous on the album, and we're not going to talk about the line once. We're not going to talk about the line on Famous.
Okay,
I think everyone, if you listen to the album, you know the
at
line.
one point. Like, not going to discuss the nature of the line, but again, this intro, like, such an amazing moment, and the beat drops so well. It's so perfectly constructed, and then you get the line. And again, it's like, Kanye, why can't we have
it's like,
one
why?
moment
Why?
that isn't
Wait, didn't the
tainted
song
up
start off with like Rihanna's hook, which is by the way, I'm gonna say this is probably my least favorite track on the album. Look, there's just so many elements of this song that I'm like, ugh. Well, because a lot of people complain about that line, but then I say the rest of the lyrics in the song aren't that good either. Because all these fucking stupid puns that are not funny at all.
Lyrics on this album don't fucking matter. Like, we cannot sit here and be like, oh, the lyrics on this album, they don't fucking matter. Kanye.
But they
However, okay, AJ, I will get you at that. Yes, the lyrics don't matter, but they would be like Yeezus. Now, Yeezus, some of those lines and some of those lyrics are terrible. No, but guess what? Kanye had good flows. He had cadence. He had energy. It seemed like he cared about rapping. This album, it seems like half the time he doesn't really give a shit about rapping.
I was not using that to defend this album. What I meant by that is literally the least significant part of this album is Kanye West's rapping. Yeah. This is an album that showcases Kanye as like an artist and even more of a producer than we've seen in a while. But he's getting people together and just like, we're about to make some fucking music, yo. And I'll just hop on there, say some words and shit, and it's just gonna happen. Like,
I'm gonna say some words and shit. I'm gonna give me a 10. I don't care.
Yep. I get why people were like, why someone would come in expecting better lyrics, because a lot of the singles did have some of the best lyrics in a long time.
I want to talk about that.
Real Friends has seriously some of his best writing of his career.
Real
30
Friends
Hours
I
is
just wish
amazing.
I
No
love
More
those songs.
Parties in LA is amazing. Like, it has some of his best lyrics, and I just wish he had tried harder on the rest of the album.
Totally agree, Alex. I just wish he did not put those songs as singles because they gave me expectations of there being some type of cohesiveness and that
It was
the
definitely
writing would be
Phil
really good, and this album did not deliver on that at all, for the most part, and it's really disappointing.
Real Friends is already a proven classic. It's one of my top 5 favorite Kanye West songs of all time. It's incredible song, and yeah, it gave me the completely wrong expectations for the album. But I don't care because that song is so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm not saying these singles are bad. Like, the singles are some of the best songs on the album, but it's just like these are the singles you're putting out for your album, and they're like they it's like why did you put the singles that are like this that are all have a feeling of cohesiveness to them, and the rest of the album is like completely bipolar and random and shit.
I mean, honestly, we're looking at like the way the album was rolled out. Why did Kanye put those out as singles? Probably because he didn't know what the album was going to be like.
However, that does bring in the theory that we're talking about, because there was
he was like,
hold on, so
go ahead.
Hold on, Stefan, I'm gonna let you finish. But this album was a conspiracy, okay? It was a conspiracy. I think the role of this album, I feel like there are parts of it that were unplanned and just like that's how it happened. But there's parts of it that feel like, here's the thing. The name of the album, I feel like the name of the album for a while was The Life of Pablo. Because he had merch that had The Life of Pablo on it, and merch takes a while to get made, you know? It doesn't get made instantly. So he had to have known that The Life of Pablo was the name of the album for at least a few months. And so the switch and then changing it to Waves, that was like bullshit. The album was never Waves. And then of course there was the feeling that Wiz Khalifa and Kanye beef was sort of planned out in a way to kind of get Kanye publicity about the Waves thing and to make sense of why like Max B's on the album in the Silver Surfer interlude.
Yeah,
there's just so many there's so many elements to this brawl that are so weird because there's parts of it that feel like Kanye has no idea what he's doing, and there's parts where it's like, I think Kanye has too much of an idea of what he's doing.
I think it's the real like kind of tragedy of this album for me is like, if, you know, you're thinking of the title Life of Pablo, and like which one? Like the answer is neither. Like you're not going to be either Kanye if you keep like obsessing about how you're perceived and what your public image is. Like I feel like he's a very like sensitive and easily overwhelmed person, and he gets like so bogged down in these trivial things that just like keep him from holding away and like making good music. So, like we have these brilliant flashes throughout the album, but like with the rest, I don't know, it's just this cluttered mess because I think that's kind of where his mind is at.
However, that perceiving this, you know, how he's perceiving the public has made some of his best work, and it's certainly the kind of the main topic of most of his work. With this time though, it's definitely just like in this it just feels like, I mean, when Rhymefest said that Kanye West was not mentally well, and Rhymefest is someone who's known Kanye for. By the way, if you guys don't know who Rhymefest is, he has been a friend of Kanye since like he was a kid. Was a writer for Kanye for many, many years up until Yeezus is when I think he stopped writing for him after that album. And so I feel like there's any person that could say that Kanye's not mentally well, it'd probably be that person. And there's also lyrics in this album that's like on the song FML, he mentions taking Lexapro. Yeah, and that's now I think it's a pill for depression, right?
I said it before the album came out, and I definitely still believe it. I think this is Kanye West's last album.
I mean, he's saying on Twitter like he's gonna win like 100 Grammys and shit. And
what Kanye West says on Twitter, that
not reality
whatsoever.
Okay, not reality. But yeah, I feel like if this album is his last album, it just definitely feels like it's a man who's being torn apart. It seems like, because this album is so disjointed and it's all over the place, and I feel like Kanye's personality is all over the place too at the moment because he's this, you know, I don't want to say it's Kim. I really do not want to say it's Kim.
I think no,
but I feel like the Kardashians have some play in like why he's not doing it well.
Attention from the media he got like once he joined up with them was sort of what did it for him, because all of a sudden he had every paparazzi in the world on him and his family, and I think that like messed with his head in a serious way.
I strongly disagree with all of that. I think looking at Kanye right now, I think this Kanye is like I think he's a very stable Kanye. I think he's happier than he's been in a while. He seems like he's in control. I don't like this conversation about like, oh, he's mentally unwell. All that stuff really just kind of makes me uncomfortable.
I just don't know what to think, because there's
I
times
think-
where you're like, wow, he seems fine. Like he's done some like the paparazzi stuff that's shown up recently. It's like, oh well, he seems fine. And you watch that SNL freakout and you go, oh, I don't, huh? And you'll see his tweets and you go, I don't know what to think about Kanye at the moment. It's like I don't know. Like like he says all this stupid shit and you go, oh my god, Kanye. But then he says stuff you're like, oh, I see where you come from, Kanye. I totally agree. And you're just like, ugh. He's just such an enigma of a person that he's such a
he knows. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and I think he's having fun with it. And I'm
just having fun with it.
If he's happy, which I think he is, I don't care about anything that people are talking about. Hey, Kanye, whatever. What's he doing? I don't.
I'm not saying he's not unhappy. I think he's happy. Even though it just seems like it's weird. I don't know. I'm sorry for I'm gonna take back that conversation saying he's not mentally well and all that stuff. Because I don't know.
Okay, regardless of any conjecture about his mental state, like the bottom line, whatever's going on in Kanye's life, like he's suffering from an immense lack of creative focus, and I think that's what is shown on this album. In that his head's just in 1,000 places at once, and like he can't get a consensus on he can't reach a consensus within himself on like what his vision is. Like he wants to be everything, and so as a result, I think this album just sort of turned into kind of nothing at parts.
I agree. Okay, do we want to get back to like the track by track? We barely talked about Famous.
Yeah. Getting back to Famous, the Sister Nancy sample, I don't like it. Like that may be controversial, but I don't like it.
Shut the fuck up.
I think
in 2016, that use of dub on a fucking major hip hop album. Holy shit! I've got a unabashed big hard on for dub music. Holy shit! That's one of the best parts of the album. Oh my god. Don't trash talk that. Oh no.
You know what, Stefan? I'm on AJ's side and AJ and Alex side. I'm also on your side, Stefan, because I think that sample is fantastic. Up until Swizz Beatz is like, I'm just gonna do some albums over this shit because I don't give a fuck. I'm Swizz Beatz and no one's gonna tell me I'm fucking annoying and no one likes me when I do this shit.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, contextually, I understand like the symbolic weight of the sample, but just I don't know, musically, it doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Anyways,
and then Rihanna's hook is awful in the song. I just okay. Here's the thing. So you hear towards the end of the song, you hear the Nina sample, and you go, "Wow, that's fucking amazing." And then you hear Rihanna, and she just, "I bet I said yo key." You're like, "Oh my god, Rihanna, shut the fuck up." You can't just okay. I think Rihanna can be a good singer at times, and there's songs on our new album where we're like, "Wow, she's really good at singing," but in this song, she's just not. She doesn't work.
I do wish he had just used
original
sample instead of having Rihanna sing it.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't.
On the original version, apparently it was just a Nina sample, but for some reason he's like, last minute he changed it to have Rihanna on the hook for for most of the song. That's like what? Oh god, this album's a conundrum. It's fucking ugh. Let's get to the next track, Feedback. Now, Feedback is actually one of my favorite songs on the album. Oh, wait, did you guys want to say anything about Famous or?
I think we did a lot. I think we did well with Famous.
Okay. Feedback. I think it's actually one of my favorite songs on the album. It's so goddamn good.
I agree 100%. Yep.
It's just got this swagger to it. I don't know. Like Kanye sounds almost charismatic.
I think that's when his bad lyrics work a little bit. Because it sounds like he's having fun.
Snooze.
The way the song is built up, Feedback, it's not meant to be like a super serious song, unlike Father Stretch My Hands, which was building up this epic and sort of serious tone, and then Bleached Assholes.
I don't know, I'm gonna go back on my point. He doesn't sound charismatic, but he plays the anti-hero part well. There are songs on here where he does sound charismatic. Like, Real Friends, No More Parties in LA, that's the most charismatic Kanye has sounded since, the Dropout series, but I don't know. It's hard. The album is so disjointed, and none of the songs really play into each other except for Real Friends and Wolves. So it's hard to make general comments about the record at all.
Yeah. Feedback.
He does play the part well on this track.
Yeah. The beat is incredible. It feels like a Yeezus beat, but slightly more minimalistic, I guess. Because Yeezus was still in some ways a very maximalist and also minimalist album, but the beat is very simple, but it still bangs. And Kanye, he's going in on this song, and hold on, let me see if I can pull up some lyrics. But yeah, I really enjoy Feedback. I would say it's a god tier Kanye song.
Yeah, feedback's good.
well-
And like, honestly, I don't even know if the lyrics like matter on this song, which I know is to go back on the point I was talking about earlier. But like, I don't know. Really, he just sounds interesting on this song, like charismatic or whatever you want to call it. It's just there's something engaging about it, and especially with the instrumental too. I don't know. Yeah, the song just works, even though it kind of doesn't in a way. And an interesting thing I just realized about the beat is like the kind of that B section of the beat where it goes in that weird synth voice actually like has shades of the click beat in it for me. That's kind of the vibe I get from it, which is interesting. That it's sort of a combination of like that and Yeezus. And I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's a good song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like he cares like about rapping on the song, and I like that. Like, hey, yeah, some of these lyrics are like they're not like super like really emotional. It's like he sounds like he's having fun. It sounds like he cares a little bit, and it's nice to have that where he seems like he cares about rapping. Not about making music, mind you, but rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is rare on this album. I think.
Hold on, AJ, I think you're lagging a little bit.
Oh, I think Kanye caring about rapping.
Whoa.
It's still going. Whoa.
This is awesome. Beat food.
Maybe you sound like the end of part 2.
Okay, you know those little voice modulators you get where it's like it sounds like a robot voice? That's what you sound like right now, AJ.
Nice.
Can you like unplug your mic?
Shoot you.
Please fix your fucking mic.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
I don't plug it in, plug it back in. I don't know. It's
I love how this podcast is just as disjointed as the Life of Pablo is.
that's the point.
Is that any better?
Okay, you're good now.
Yeah,
you're good.
you're back.
Oh my god. Okay, feedback. I don't think there's much to say about the song other than it's really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lowlights.
Interlude.
I think I said earlier that Famous was my least favorite track on the album. I'm gonna go back to my word. I'm gonna say that Lowlights is.
I agree.
Cheating. That's cheating.
It is cheating, I guess. Famous, like for actual songs, Famous is my least favorite. But for like songs on the track list, this is my least favorite because it's like
I think Lowlights and Highlights should have been one song, and I think Part 1 and Part 2 could have been one song, just to make this track list look like less of a fucking headache.
Yeah,
I think that would have been fine.
Lowlights for me kicks off like the least interesting stretch of the album, which is basically like Lowlights through Waves. Just
don't
a
talk
lot
shit
of it
about Waves.
does not do anything for me.
Wait.
I don't like Waves. Waves is one of my least favorite songs. I don't
No.
like.
I will. Okay, I'm gonna agree with Stefan. It's probably the least stress. However, Freestyle 4 is fucking great, and I'll talk about it later. But
Freestyle
yeah,
4 is like a brief reprieve, but
I actually
still.
don't like Freestyle 4. That's my least favorite track.
we'll talk about it.
So
But yeah,
sorry.
just okay. Well, it's way too fucking long.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's way too long.
It should be cut down by like a minute, and it shows a song about Kanye wanting to stick a GoPro on his dick, and also about how he wants to be friends with Ray
It's supposed to be
J.
like 30 seconds because the thing it goes on for 2 minutes without any changes, and even the longest songs on this album don't go more than like 45 seconds without some kind of shift in musical idea. Like in terms of cohesive ideas, it lasts longer than any song on the album, and yeah.
It's like, guys, it's a gospel album, guys. It's a gospel album. See, listen to this song. It's gospel, guys.
And also, by the
wink,
way,
wink.
sometimes I wish that my dick had GoPro.
Oh my god.
Honestly, okay. I really like that line. I'm coming out and I'm saying
I love it.
like
For
most
the
it's
GoPro
fun.
line?
acting like that line is like just I don't know, like an abortion or something. Although let's not get into politics. Abortions are great. I love you.
Sometimes I wish my dick had... fuck, it's hype. Like, it's dumb, but it's hype.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like there's times where I'm like, wow, it's kind of funny and I enjoy it, but there's times where I'm like, oh my god, Kanye, you gotta.
This whole album is like... it's like a guilty pleasure, you know? You're like, oh, Kanye's saying the stupid... I'll talk about this more on Waves, but yeah, like, I'm like, oh, this is fucking dumb. I should not be enjoying this, but oh god, it's just so, like, exciting. It gets me going for no reason.
If Dick had a GoPro happened on feedback, I would love it. But it's the fact that it happens on highlights that it's like, this is the tone you want to set. Like,
Can
you
we
make it a
also...
serious
The
gospel
Rage line
album
is
or
way
not?
worse though. Oh my god, it's just.
I love the Rage. Oh, holy shit.
I hate it because it's just delivered so badly. But then
Only
the rest
problem
of
is
the
I'm
rest of the verse, his
rich.
flow is actually really nice and shit. But for some reason on that song, the flow is just not good. But then the rest of the song is like really nice. Like, you know, like the parts where it's like got the fruit of Islam in the trenches, huh? Even though
that's really good bars, yeah.
Like there's some good bars, and it sounds like he gives a shit. Except for maybe like the Black China fucking Rob helping with the weight. Like, I can go without it.
I want to give a quick shout out to how restrained and actually good Young Thug is on this song. Like, this is an excellent use of Young for someone who's so overused as Young Thug. Excellent use of Young Thug. Like, Kanye fucking same with Kid Cudi, but Kanye fucking reined them in and was like, okay, I know you're used to like fucking around and doing whatever you want in your music and when you appear on other people's music, but like you're gonna be molded to fit what I want to do here. And Young Thug is used perfectly on this song.
I will agree. I kind of wanted a Young Thug verse though. I think I he's going the hook, but I was like, it's one of the first times where I'm like, I kind of wanted a Young Thug verse, but I feel like
you heard it here first. Matty wants to hear Young Thug rap.
Because here's the thing, when Young Thug, this beat is really good. It's a really good beat, and I want to hear Young Thug over it because, for the most part, when he's over good production like this, unique, like not like generic trap production, he can sound really good, and he fits. Because he fits really well in this hook. But yeah, I do feel like if he did have a verse, though, I feel like Kanye couldn't rein him in as much, and he would just go off on like a timbre about like...
Yeah, we would have gotten another, like, I'm a ride in that pussy like a stroller, which is a great
line. But I'm not sure if it would, considering the GoPro line and considering the Radio line, I feel like that line would fit on here.
Yeah, but like...
That's an interesting point. Is it just feels like Kanye is trying to recreate I'm a ride in that pussy this entire album. Like he's reaching for one of those moments and never gets it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that,
fair.
yeah.
I can see that.
Because the thing with riding the pussy is, like, that line is legitimately, like, great. Like, even unironically, it's just hilarious. And
It changed the rap game. It changed the electronic music game. It's the most important album of or the most important lyric of 2015.
And I guess the issue with all the lines where it seemed like Kanye was going for that was just like there's either just something objectively terrible about them.
He can't stick the landing on any of these jokes.
Misogynistic or something, or like, I don't know.
They're just not. Here's the thing.
Just poorly written.
They're poorly written. They're poorly delivered.
Although the Ray J line was also kind of misogynistic when you think about it.
Oh, it's misogynistic as fuck. Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk about my wife's sex tape, call her a bitch, and then say that it's okay that she had sex with a different guy because I have money. What, like, I love that line, but the way that he, like, I'm like, oh yeah, Kanye. Oh, you're calling out Ray J? That's cool. And then it's fucking, only problem is I'm rich. What?
Okay, during the live stream, everyone in the chat like slapped their foreheads simultaneously. That line had so much build up and kind of just exemplifies Kanye's inability to stick a punchline. Like, big pause, only problem is I'm rich, and you're like, oh my god.
What?
And then afterwards the song like pauses for a second, like we have to let that line in.
Guys,
like, oh, like no, like just like, why are you letting that line stick?
In the theater, and everyone thought the line was awesome. Like, people were like jumping out of their seats, like, and I was like, no.
I don't think anyone did that in my theater. No one did that in my theater.
God. I wish it could have been.
Same thing with the Taylor line. People were so excited about that line in my theater, and like, I was just the only one sitting there, kind of horrified, and it was gross.
At the time, was it Taylor Swift owe me sex? Was it during the Yeezy
Okay, yeah. So it was originally that he felt like Taylor Swift owes him sex, which would
be awful. Yeah.
Which is awful, but it's also a callback to a song. It's a callback to a song he did with Young Jeezy back in like 07, 08, I think.
Yeah,
but still, it's bad. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying there's like some connection.
One of the most misogynistic lines in hip hop I've ever heard. I mean,
but however, though, I don't really want to show that much sympathy to Taylor Swift because here's what went down during that. So a few weeks before the song for the album came out, Taylor Swift heard that line in advance, and she gave him the okay.
Wait, hold on, though.
What do you mean?
This is based off of information from Kanye.
No. A Grammy producer, a Grammy Awards producer, said that she knew about the line beforehand, like a few weeks beforehand. Did you not see that video? And then Charlamagne on his podcast said that Taylor Swift knew about the line for weeks in advance. Was gonna go say, "Hey guys, it's fine. I gave the approval," but then she decided to flip the script last minute and said, "Oh no, fuck you, Kanye."
I don't. Okay,
hey, remember when you guys told me not to talk about the line?
I know, but we're talking about it now. We're into it.
I don't care. I don't care, like, the story, what had happened or whatever. I just think it seems manufactured. I'm sure Taylor probably heard it and was like, you know, whatever. And then like someone from the outside, like who doesn't already like Kanye. I mean, it's a perfect line. If you like Kanye, you're just like, God, that's fucking dumb. Kanye's fucking dumb. Whatever. If you don't like Kanye already, it's just more fuel, which just feeds Kanye. literally
Yeah.
feeds into his music. Like, I would not have been surprised if on like two songs later he literally referenced back to the reception of that line. Like, that would not be surprising at all. Remember, he was like, "Oh, remember the 2 songs ago when I said Taylor Swift and me would have sex? Haha, people hate me. I'm Kanye." Like, Jesus Christ.
Hashtag
Picture him, like,
Taylor is
jumping
fake.
out of a
Okay,
chimney
support the
after he says
KTT
that.
Familia. Okay.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, I do think that much of Taylor Swift's personality is manufactured. Like, that much is obvious, but I wouldn't be surprised if Taylor heard the line and was like, "Yeah, sure," but like assumed that would never ever end up on an album, because even just as like a line, it's terrible. It's not good in any way, and like, I don't know. It's hard to defend it.
Can we just say we're on neither of their sides for the line?
Yeah.
I think the whole situation around it is like dumb as fuck and a pointless conversation. All of the hashtag hot takes gotta stop.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of shit. Never mind. Let's go to the next track. Okay. Let's go to Freestyle 4. Okay, so you said you just I fucking love the song. I seriously love.
Okay.
This is a god tier Kanye song to me. I fucking love it because that beat is like, oh shit. Okay, here we go. We're ready. And then he's like on his Yeezus shit, and it's like, yes, I love this because I fucking love Yeezus. It's my favorite Kanye album, and I love anything Yeezus-esque. It's like, yes.
So here's how I feel about this song. It was a really cool musical idea that goes absolutely nowhere. It just
I think this is the
starts
most
somewhere and
inconsequential
stays
song.
in the same place. Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't do anything, but it's a really cool idea, and it's
Don't care. It's
atmosphere.
fucking great. I love it.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what you should listen to, Matty? Have you listened to any of Radiohead's B-sides? They do like basically this exact same thing with kind of the ominous strings and just this like weird,
I have it.
quirky.
And
Dark
Tom York
thing
talking about
on a-
fucking on a kitchen table.
Okay, well, not quite that, but
Can we fuck right
but
now?
it was they do it on one of the Hail to the Thief B-sides. I can't think of which song it was. It might have been Paperback Writer, but just check it out. You'll like it.
Hey guys,
Anyway.
casual reminder that this is the Indieheads podcast. We only talk about indie music like Kanye West and Radiohead. Thanks for dropping the listen today.
Okay, but I love the song. I mean, the lyrics, they're fucking terrible. I mean, duh. But it has the
Yeah.
Yeezus-esque flow to it and the energy, and just like, it's fun. It's fucking, it's dirty as hell.
I still love the thing you posted with that dude, and he's just got this like, I don't know, the weirdest like look on his face.
Wait,
and,
was it a Vine?
yeah,
The Jalen Vine?
and then when everybody start fucking lines comes in, it just starts. The camera's just shaking all over the place.
I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, but I really love the song, and then Designer's hook. Oh my god, it's okay. Look, people, and I think I said this on Twitter. For like, I think I posted a thing like, one unpopular opinion. I think Designer has sounded better on this album than Future has almost all year, except for the song "Flash It Only."
Suck dick.
No, I mean designer's exciting. I like he only has that Panda's pretty much the only official release he has, but I think he's excitingly used on this album. I mean, I won't go as far to say that like he's better than Future or anything, but I think
I'm not saying
he's
he's better Future
very-
overall. I'm just saying
he just always feels like discount Future to me. Like, I just can't get over.
I don't
that.
give a shit. I mean, Future. I have not been. I mean, we talked about Evil on the podcast. I liked it,
is
but it
amazing.
just seems like this series, like, you gotta change shit up, man. I feel like
Evil,
Designer
okay.
adds that sort of change up where he's not going over the trap production that Future usually goes over. He's going over like experimental hip hop production. I mean, again, in the hook he does, like, I want it right now. Oh my, I can't say that word. Gonna get it and shine now, shine now, shine now. It's like, it sounds great. And then at the ending where like it has like the drum pad or whatever, just it's like glitching out. It sounds incredible, and you go, what the fuck? I don't know. I love
Yeah, I
Freestyle
mean, it's
4. I don't care.
cool.
Okay,
Can we talk about Waves yet?
let's go. Well,
Yeah,
we
something
got
on
wait. What
Waves,
about
but
I
we
Love
don't like
Kanye?
It's funny. It's dumb. Can we talk about
Yeah.
Waves?
Okay, let's go to Waves.
That's pretty much the
When
only
Waves-
thing to say about it.
However, I do want to say though, going into real quickly about I Love Kanye, you go from Freestyle 4, rough transition to I Love Kanye, and then rough transition to Waves. It's like,
Okay, the transition from I Love Kanye to Waves, because literally the most important part of Waves is the first 5 fucking seconds. Waves kicks you in the face and is like, yo, I'm a great song. Like, get fucking ready. And I think having I Love Kanye right before it is like perfect because it's like, we're calming down. This is just dumb. Kanye's having fun. And then Waves is just like, oh, here's a fucking incredible pop song. Like, take it.
Wait, did you say Waves was great? How
Yes,
does it
Waves
feel
is
to
so-
be that wrong, AJ?
Waves is so okay.
Waves
Chris
is great.
Chris Brown fucks on this song. Chris Brown fucks. So no one else could do that hook. I don't even want to entertain the notion that anyone else could have done that hook. That's the best Chris Brown has ever sounded. Waves is so good, you guys. Oh my god.
Okay, Stefan, can we talk about how we dislike the song? Well, I don't dislike it, but it's one of the low points of the album because for the most of the album is still like not cohesive and like barely fits together. But I feel like the song is like the most heinous of that. Of like, wow, this song really does not fit within the album at all. To me,
The problem with Waves is it's like Lowlights. Like it doesn't fit the tone that is the left turn the album took, and like it goes on for too long without really doing anything. The original idea wasn't that interesting in itself.
and Waves is only like
it's
3
just
minutes.
This
and
long
already-
flat stretch of beige
yeah,
in like an album that is supposed to be multicolored and just like I this is gonna hurt my argument, but like I can't even cite individual moments from it because the entire thing just like glazes over me. Like
How
the second
about when
my
it-
eyes just turn off.
How about when it kicks you in the fucking face when it comes on?
it doesn't.
with
Well, I mean, it kicks me in the
It
face,
doesn't
but
kick
I
me
don't
in the-
consider that a
Okay,
good thing.
We're gonna take a little 5-second pause, open up your music players, and just click play on Waves and tell me that like the opening of the song doesn't do something for you. With Turn Me Up and then just oh, fuck you guys, it's so good.
It doesn't. Maybe that's the problem. Is Waves is trying so hard to kick me in the face, and it just like misses by 2 inches. Like
Yes.
its foot is just waving in front of my face for 3 minutes.
Yes,
Nothing
I agree.
lands.
I agree. Thank you.
Kanye's dumb lyrics on this song like work. It's so just fucking like celebratory. Oh, step up in this bitch like I'm the one you bitch like. Go for it, Kanye. Just go on ahead and do that.
I mean, okay, lyrically, I think this is probably one of the laziest songs on the album because Kanye is like, it's literally like his verse literally sounds unfinished. Like, it literally sounds like he was gonna write more, but like, okay, now it sounds fine.
Pretty sure it
Like,
was. Like Chance was finishing the song. I think it was unfinished, and Chance just took the amount of time he had to do his best job.
You guys can blame Chance if you want, but I think
However,
Chance...
that does tie back into what I was saying that the role of this album, some of it was fake. I feel like Waves was already done, and the drama with Chance and whatnot was like, it was done because they wanted to release the album after SNL. And they're like, okay, how do we get this? How do we tell, like, Kanye said, I'm going to put it out today. And Kanye's like, okay, I know we can't put this album out today. How do we say that this album is not coming out today? Waves, sure, we'll pretend to put that back on the album, and we'll say, oh, blame Chance.
I don't know though. That's just not Chance's personality. Like I just don't think Chance would want to play along with that. I just have trouble believing
This
that.
is the
Like,
guy who, like, dude, did you not follow, like, what happened with Surf, where he would tell people, oh, it's coming out soon, and then it doesn't come out at all?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not saying it's not out of
but
character
that
for Chance
wasn't
to go
like
along with
his
this
album. For all he knew, it might have been almost done. You know,
But he was
just
like
on that album.
Chance was an asshole about Surf because he was like, oh, it's not my album. Like, don't ask me. But also like, oh, you guys are gonna love it. This is such a great album. I know you guys want this. And it's like, Chance,
Yeah.
stop. Surf was handled
was a
poorly.
tease.
I wanna get onto FML real quick.
Yeah, it's good, because I think you have to leave soon, right, AJ?
I have to leave, and I will let my last words just be about FML. I've said that like Young Thug, Kid Cudi, and Chris Brown are all used to perfection on this album. FML, I said earlier this year that what was it? Pray for Love off of Rodeo is the best use of the weekend to date. Incorrect. FML is the best use of the weekend.
Mhm.
Oh,
I agree.
when
Yeah,
he comes in,
I-
holy shit.
It's the best he's
And
sounded since Trilogy.
Yeah,
I actually like this song, you know, and I hate The Weeknd. I hate Trilogy. Trilogy is awful, and I hate it, and it's dumb. But he sounds fucking great on this song. He does.
Also,
He sounds
hold on,
amazing.
I would link the video. I'm gonna link the video in the description of the video I made about FML on Twitter. I can't put it in the video because I'll get hit with copyright.
Meme of the year.
Thank
Meme
you.
of the year.
Oh, so good.
Thank you.
Can that just be our discussion of FML? Is the last minute like?
See through the veil.
Oh man, it's
And
great.
forget about and then also, of course, I think we already talked about this a little bit. Like, like the second verse is actually like one of his most personal verses like on the album.
Oh yeah,
Where it's like-
Okay, this will actually be my final statement. FML kicks off this series of the most self-aware Kanye's been in a very long time. Real Friends
Absolutely.
is reflective. Wolves
Yeah.
is sad. 30 Hours is like I cried
Yeah.
to 30 Hours the other day. 30 Hours made me cry the other day just because I
30
was like,
Hours is so cool. It's
30 Hours
just,
is
it's like,
amazing.
it's the most interesting Kanye's been lyrically.
I
since,
think
like,
personally, Waves through No More Parties in LA is like a really great stretch and shows the inkling that this could have been like a objectively great album. Personally, I think it's a great album. I accept that it's not put together well as a musical product, but some of my favorite, things I like to listen to aren't. So I can accept its flaws. I can accept everything it does incorrectly, but I just have so much fun listening to this album that I can't
Yeah.
trash it, and I really, really enjoy it.
that's
Mhm.
pretty much a good summary of how I feel
Yeah.
as well.
There's great songs here, but they're just not well put together for the most part. So let's see. I think AJ, are you gonna head out right now?
Yeah, I think he just left.
Okay. So AJ is gone. It's just us three now. Rest in
Woohoo.
peace. Real Friends. I think AJ. I think he said everything about real. Honestly, I don't have much to say
Yeah.
about Real Friends that already hasn't been said so far this podcast. It's great.
Yeah, it's a great
Songs about
song.
it.
Just point blank, it's awesome, and there's nothing more you can say about it.
I
than
think
that,
Tidal
really.
Songs is also really good on the song. I think his vocals are
Yeah.
great. I don't really
The
listen
way
to
they
much
trade
Tidal
off
Songs.
lines is really interesting. Like,
Yeah.
it brings the new element to the song that just keeps it interesting
Mhm.
throughout.
I think, like, this album is just deeply sad in kind of an adult way. Like,
Profoundly sad, as Jeremiah would say.
Yeah,
and this is one of the songs that kind of sheds light into it because it's a coherent thought from Kanye, whereas the
Yeah.
rest of it isn't, and it just shows like what he's actually dealing with in a way, which is kind of like a depression. He's like, it's not the regular kind of sadness we're used to in music, where it's like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, or something like that, like. Or where something happens to the artist and they make a song about it, and then it's like, whatever. They move on eventually. This is like a sadness that's like, this is the way my life is, and I'm kind of not happy with it, but I'm dealing with it the best way I can. And that's what a lot of this album feels like to me, especially songs like Real Friends, where he just talks about how he's kind of disappointed in himself as a member of his family, but also that he doesn't feel like his family is has exactly been the best for him either.
yeah, that's what's kind of frustrating about this album is there's this very subtle thread throughout of like Kanye expressing this deep dissatisfaction with the world, but he never gets to a point aside from like this stretch of tracks, obviously, where he can like express that concretely. Like you want him to get it across so bad, but it just gets clouded up by all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think a lot of this was just like Kanye, I can't remember who said this earlier in the podcast, but Kanye wants to do everything and he wants to be everything.
I think that was AJ.
And that's what this album suffers from the most. Like,
Mhm.
because there are moments of greatness in all the things he does on here, but I just wish it was more concentrated. I wish.
Yeah, and that was
really,
kind of
really.
a-
I wish most of all is that we had gotten a few more tracks like Real Friends in 30 Hours, where it was just
which I'm sure
this
there are.
concise
That's
thought.
what's-
Yeah,
that's what's so
I hope
irritating. He
ends
probably
up-
has 20 real friends in the vault and just like doesn't do anything with them for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, please let us hear
Um,
the good stuff.
I'm hoping we hear at least one more on the deluxe if they do it, or that if he ends up pulling through with Good Fridays, that he drops like a couple more. Because I would love to put together just some version of this album that has those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It would just be a better album.
You made a good point earlier, actually, about how, like, I don't know, about his albums being focused artistic statements. Like, if you think about it, every Kanye album up until this point, like, he's been trying to do one thing, regardless of what is
Yeah.
successful with it. But, like, there's a concrete thing he's trying to do with this album and with his albums, and with this album, it sounded like he didn't know what he wanted to do, and like by the end, didn't really figure it out either.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I
with
think
you.
he just
'Cause every album has a concept to it. There is
Yeah.
some sort of either sonic or thematic cohesion to these songs. This album does not have that. Like I said, it's a culmination of everything Kanye's done in the best and worst way possible. In some
Yeah.
ways, it's the best. In some ways, it's the worst. it's just again, it's just like such
Yeah.
a conflicting album because I like it. I do like it, guys. Trust me. But it's also really conflicting to talk about because it's like, I want to be like, yeah, I'm a Kanye stan. I love Kanye, but at the same time, though, it's like I can't be like this album is not a fucking mess. It's obviously a
Yeah.
fucking mess.
There are like things that objectively need to be criticized about this piece of work, but like it's still a great piece of work in my opinion. I think it's still a great album, even though it's got a lot of serious flaws. But
I feel like being a Kanye fan at this stage of his career is just kind of like being a concerned parent in the background, just like, I expect better from you. Like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed is the life motto of every hardcore Kanye West fan.
yeah.
Have we talked about Wolves yet?
No.
Okay, Wolves. I think he messed it up. I
Disagree.
I think in some ways he messed it up. I think, let's see, the first verse where it's still singing, obviously, it's the same from the original version. It sounds fine. That second verse, though, man,
I appreciate the new version of Wolves because even though it's corny, it's like, it's
just, again, the song is like
it's a
so epic,
concise
and
statement.
it's epic throughout, and yeah, I feel like it's sort of, it's like Ultra Light Beam, where that second verse, it feels like he's trying to ground it back in reality in some way, but Kanye is not in our reality, okay? He does not live in our reality. Okay, Chance the Rapper, he lives in our reality. Kanye West, he does not. And so when he tries to do what Chance did in Ultra Light Beam, it doesn't work, because then he'll have parts like, about like if Mary and Joseph was in the club, and covering Nori and Lambswool, and how there was corny bitches in Redacteds that you could wish you could unswallow and unfollow, and you're like, what the fuck are you? It's the verse is so clunky from a lyrical and flow perspective. It just does not fit the song at all.
Yeah.
Controversial opinion, like, I didn't care for SNL Wolves, and I don't care for this Wolves either.
I
Like,
think
just
SNL Wolves, I like it better, but I definitely am sort of like, I don't care about it as much as other people. But also Frank Ocean's outro. Thank you, Frank Ocean, for always trying to salvage the song.
See, the outro makes the song for me. That's why I like this version better than SNL Wolves, and I loved SNL Wolves, but it's just like everything that happened in the album, all of that mess, like Frank's just gorgeous verse, and I love how it's lo-fi. People were saying like, fix it up, man, or I don't know, make it cleaner, but no, it adds to like, it makes it feel more genuine and vulnerable, and the lyrics, like, they need, I'm not gonna go as far as to say they're corny, but like they're a statement that needs to be delivered well enough to work, and like I think the lo-fi-ness adds to that, and I really love Frank's verse, like, and I think Kanye's messy verse kind of makes it that much more effective. I don't know. I love this version.
I like.
It would have been nice to actually have Kanye have a good verse. I mean, that would have made it better too.
I think Frank's verse, like, it's nice on its own, but I think what actually doesn't make it work is the rest of the song. Like, coming after Real Friends, could you imagine it was just like those 45 seconds of Frank as an interlude? Like, that would have been awesome. But contrasted with the rest of the song, like him tacking Frank at the end of there almost seems like he was in the studio and he was like, damn it, I can't save this song. And just like, I don't know.
Hey,
like,
Frank,
to leave him a voicemail.
Come here, come on, Frank, I need you. Okay, Frank, can you? Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Can you write something with Wolves? Frank's
But
like,
it makes
I mean,
sense
I'm
at
too
the
busy
end,
working on
though.
my No, Frank, I need you right now. I guess Kanye. I mean, it's Kanye. I guess it's you. So all right, that's what it feels like. I'm not saying like Frank Ocean's stuff is rushed, because I mean, I think Frank Ocean could write a better song than 5 minutes that Kanye West can write at this point in his career in 1 hour.
Yeah, it just feels like Frank got inserted at the last minute to like improve the song, basically.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't criticize it for that, because the entire album feels like that, and it's just good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Wolves, and then Silver Surfer intermission. Fuck it, no,
I don't care.
No,
Don't care.
30 hours. It's the Arthur Russell sample is fantastic. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
used
that's
so
the thing.
goddamn
Just
well.
like the opening of this instrumental, like, justifies the entire rest of the song for me. Like, Fantano was complaining about how halfway through Kanye like trails off and starts ad-libbing and it sounds slapped together.
I love
With that
part,
beat, I don't
actually.
care. Like, like over top that Arthur Russell sample, Kanye could like pull out his phone and start reading his tweets, and I'd be like, it bumps. Like it's so good.
Because I want to hate that outro where he's just talking, but I'm like, this beat is so nice though. I just want to keep listening to it. I don't care if he's just talking about it. It just sounds nice.
People were complaining about how he only got 3 stacks in to just sing over.
I'm mad about that.
I am not. I think it sounds fantastic.
It sounds good, but when you say, "Hey, Andre 3K," you go, "What the fuck is he gonna do a rap?" And you go, he's just doing harmonizing. It's like, it's like I don't understand. I imagine it's not even Kanye's fault. I imagine that's just Andre 3000 not wanting to rap. But it's like, you can't just do this to me, Kanye. You can't tease me like this with Andre 3K. Okay, you can't tease us.
It would have been awesome if like Andre was just on there and it wasn't mentioned, but the fact that like it said in the title featuring Andre 3000, that makes you expect a verse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you don't get that, then that's a little disappointing. But I like his appearance.
I mean, yeah, it's not bad. Like the harmonizing is nice, but it's like, I wanted a verse. Okay, I wanted a verse. The last verse he did was, I didn't hear the stuff he did with Erykah Badu. I need to though. But it's like, I wanted more. And then, let's see. Does anyone want to say any more about 30 Hours? It's just, again, also I think lyrically it's one of his best, because there's jokes in here that actually land and are really cool. Like, I guess, I guess a blowjob's better than no job. That's a great line. It's fucking amazing.
I thought, I appreciated how it really, like, properly told the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, yeah.
It's the first time he's done that in a long time, and he's just, like, talking very earnestly about an old relationship he had, like the one he had when he first started his music career, and it's just kind of stunning and beautiful. And like he talks about driving 30 hours to go and see her, even though he moved to LA to work on his career, and it's like, that's just really stunning. It's a stunning moment.
Yeah, and of course, also the line, "My ex says she gave me the best years of her life. I saw a recent picture of her. I guess she was right." I love that line too. It's great. Okay, I'm sorry. You guys
I have mixed feelings about that line, but whatever.
I think it was funny.
Yeah,
it's a thing that shows a little shade of his ex, and I'm like, I'm fine with that. As someone who has shade against his ex, I'm like, okay, I'm down with this line.
Like, Amber Rose seems like kind of a terrible person, but I
know it's not about Amber Rose. It's not about Amber Rose.
Okay,
it's about let's see, it's about someone he dated like prior to College Dropout. If you check on Genius, you can see it.
That's who the track is about in general, but I thought that line in particular was just about Amber Rose.
No,
again, whatever nitpicks you have with this song, like just with that beat, you could just put the scat and a cappella over top of it, and it would still be like the best thing of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the best songs in a while, like along with Real Friends and No More Parties in LA. Like,
yeah,
this is
those
just
are the 3 best. For sure.
Again, like some of the best moments of his career are on this album, and even like some of his best songs are on here, but it just falls apart. Also, going back to what you said earlier, Matty, you mentioned like it was kind of like he's like, okay, 3 stacks, and then 3 stacks just sings. Everything about this record has been a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
The promotion, like. Even just the structure of this album with Ultralight Beam coming in and being really cohesive and beautiful, and then the rest of the album just being like this kind of ugly, kind of beautiful mess. Like everything has been a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I grew used to it and it doesn't bug me, but yeah, I can see how people would be disappointed by that.
Also, he gives shouts out to St. Louis on the song, so I kind of have to love it for that. Because I live next to St. Louis, so it's like, because it's like, oh my god, he mentioned St. Louis, even though St. Louis is a
now
big
you guys
city,
know how I feel when Mac DeMarco gets mentioned anywhere. It's like, hooray, someone knows we exist.
Oh god,
a lot of Edmonton shout-outs and ad-libs lately.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Okay, let's see, do we go to No More Parties?
Sure.
Oh my god,
yeah.
I think, let's see, is this... I want to say this is my favorite. I kind of want to say this is my favorite track on the album. It's either that or FML. It's one of these two.
I can't choose between this and 30 Hours. Like, that 1-2 punch is just almost justifies all the album's flaws just to get to these, like, 11 minutes of perfection.
Oh, God, it's so good. Yeah, the beat by Madlib is fantastic, and, kind of there's some new stuff in there, too, that works, and then Kendrick's verse is great, and then Kanye has, like, the best verse of, like, since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's like,
okay, so Kendrick's verse here. Does anyone remember being like underwhelmed by it when it first came out? Did they change the mix? Because I feel like he just sounds so much more prominent in this version. I don't know.
I didn't really notice.
The
I
thing
think
is-
I think Kanye's
the
verse is
mix.
better than Kendrick's verse, which is like, how the fuck do you
See,
say
I
that in
used to feel
2016?
that way. I felt that way when it first came out, but now everything's like much clearer. And Kendrick is just a better rapper than Kanye in general. Like,
Yeah, I
even
think that's the thing.
Kanye's best verses aren't as good as Kendrick's best verses. I'm not like trying to put down.
I mean, if we're talking
Kanye
overall,
because I
then
think
yeah,
he'd
that's
be
true.
A great rapper, but like, I don't know. I really like Kendrick's verse on here.
I mean, Kendrick's
just his
verse,
flow
like,
is
it
amazing.
doesn't have anything lyrically that memorable on it. Like, I couldn't really
Yeah.
quote you a bar from this verse aside from, like, the head's still good, though. But his
Oh, wait,
flow and his
no.
delivery and his energy, everything about it is just so awesome and magnetic. And
Yeah.
you're just like, I
Yeah.
want to hear you do this forever.
Instagram is the best way to promote some pussies.
Scary. But yeah, and of course, I think Kanye's verse is just incredible because it's like he's just going the fuck in, and you go, "What the
Yeah.
fuck? How is he doing this?" It's like this is 2016 Kanye, and he's going
Yeah,
the
it
fuck
really
in.
sounds like old Kanye. Like, and it doesn't feel like someone else wrote it. Like, it just sounds like Kanye wrote something good, and that's just mind blowing to me.
And it's so long too. It's long as hell, and it works. Like he keeps it
Yeah.
up, and it's like,
But this
where the
actually
hell
makes
was
me-
this on
Okay.
the rest of the goddamn
Hot take.
album?
Hot take: the lyrics on "No More Parties in LA," "30 Hours," and "Real Friends" retrospectively makes "My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy" less impressive to me, like lyrically. I just
Yeah, I
I'm
can
really
agree with
impressed with the lyrics on these tracks.
Jeremiah's gonna be pissed when you say that, but I agree.
I
Real
still
Friends,
think
I'll
My
say,
Beautiful Dark
actually-
Twisted Fantasy is a great album, but I'm starting to lump it more with Yeezus as like lyrically not as good. It's still
Okay,
good,
no.
but, like, I don't know.
No. My Beautiful Dark Twisted
Okay,
Fantasy is
okay,
lyrically
My Beautiful
really
Dark
good.
Twisted
Like, there's
Fantasy
some
is
really
10
great
steps
songs that
ahead
are
of
lyrically.
Yeezus. Don't get me wrong, but
Alex.
it's still like
It's.
you know.
I mean, comparing the lyrics on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy to Yeezus is an insult. And this is someone who loves the fuck out of Yeezus, okay?
yeah,
But the
Yeah,
lyrics
that's
on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy are fantastic. They're great for the most part. I think there's some lines that are like okay, but for the most part, it's like these are
Yeah.
good lines.
I just mean I find like this stuff a lot more compelling.
I mean, yeah,
I
definitely
guess.
more compelling. I
Yeah.
would agree, but like saying that like you're comparing the lyrics, like don't
Yeah.
even.
You're right.
Well, as long as we're
I'll
talking about-
rescind that comment.
Yeah, as long as we're talking about comparison, I actually think Real Friends, like, if there's a song in Kanye's catalog that reminds me the most of, it's actually Blame Game. Like, in terms of his tone lyrically, those, like, kind of seem like very similar songs to me.
I see that. I definitely
Yeah.
see that.
But anyways, No More
Good,
Parties, like, I've heard this song probably over 30 times, and still, like, when it comes on, I just spend the whole time, like, giggling. Like, it just gives me this giddy laughter where you're just like, holy shit, this is happening, and it's so good every time. Yeah.
Yeah. No More Parties is definitely the most charismatic Kanye has sounded since like graduation.
Wish you could keep it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next song. Oh, we're going to facts. Okay,
Facts.
Okay, I think we already. Okay, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
can we just skip it? The beat is better. The lyrics are still atrocious.
Are the lyrics? Are they still? Is it like still the same, or is it just? I don't
They're
know.
the same.
Are they?
They sound better over that more intense beat.
That's true.
We
Okay,
could
then
honestly
never mind.
just
Let's
skip
go
it.
to
The
He
last two
added a
songs.
verse at the end, actually. He added a verse at the end, but I don't remember it being that good or anything.
it just sounds better.
Yeah, it does sound a lot better. It sounds passable now, but before, it's not like the base of the track is still not good.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go into Fade.
How do you guys feel about this? Because I've heard a lot of mixed opinions.
I really
personally-
like Fade. I think it's really
Yeah.
nice.
It
Like,
would have been
it's-
cool in the middle of the album. Like, honestly, if he put
Yeah.
that where lowlights or highlights was, and it kept like the energy of Father Stretch My Hands Up, then it would have been cool. But as a closer, you're just like, did he accidentally like click drag that to the back?
Well,
This doesn't make sense.
So the way I see it, the last 4 songs are not a part of the album. Well, including Silver
That's-
Surfer Intermission. They're bonus tracks. He even says they're bonus tracks on 30 Hours. Like, I don't think of them as legitimately part of the album. I see.
Mhm.
I originally saw this as the deluxe version, and everything after Wolves was like the bonus. But apparently, there's going to be a deluxe, which
Good.
is honestly exciting to me. But
Mhm.
just the idea that we might get one more song, like 30 Hours or Real Friends or No More Parties in LA, or even, to me, Wolves. Like, that's exciting to me. But anyway, Fade is like, what I love about Fade is it's got great cadences.
Oh yeah.
The lyrics are, yeah, sure, they're cornball, but like it's got great cadences, and it's just a great club song, you know? It makes me want to like dance around and just enjoy being.
Yeah, it's a really great dance track. I just don't know if it like fits on a Kanye album that well.
Oh, it absolutely does not fit on the rest of the album.
Like, the beat is, I really like the sample. The sample's really nice. I think the vocals are really good. I think Post Malone, I mean, again, some people go, oh, Post Malone is a cornball. I think it sounds great in the song. I think it sounds just fine. I like this part a lot.
I don't care about Post Malone. I don't mind him on this track. Like, I just don't feel any way about him. But he does sound good on this track. Like, I don't think there is a weak person on this track, but it's just, it doesn't belong on this record.
Yeah.
No, like the album for me stops after No More Parties. Like, I don't pay attention to Facts or Fade at all. It's just like, okay, 6 more minutes of like noise, and then I can listen to No More Parties again.
Yeah.
Also, the song just makes me want to dance. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to dance. You remember that Kanye dancing to The Weeknd at the MTV Music Video Awards? That's me with the song. Okay, so
yeah, it makes you kind of wonder like what Kanye would do making a dance music album almost, because like he's from Chicago. There's so much dance music history there. Like if he really started playing with like old school house and footwork, like he could probably come up with some really interesting results just on like an instrumental album of dance tracks.
Sure, because he was also playing with it on Yeezus a little bit. I mean, On Site. Let's see, is it On Site? On Site sounds like Chicago Acid House.
Yeah.
And it's like he's definitely played with it before, but like an entire album would be very, very interesting, and I would like him to kind of try doing that. That'd be cool. Bless you.
Thanks.
I'm sure he has like 3 albums worth of that stuff in the vault that we'll never hear because I don't know, for some reason, for no good reason at all. I want him to just open up his vault of unreleased songs to everyone and see like how many better albums his fans can make.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point I would not be surprised if kind of does it. He just releases like a bunch of stems and whatnot. It's like, hey, just do what you want with them. I don't care.
Well, I mean, yeah, because he's kind of open sourced like the release cycle with this album. He's made everything completely transparent and like non-permanent. So it may be like, of course, this is getting like to out there like tinfoil hat levels, but it may not be long before he starts doing that with the music itself. Like it's entirely possible.
So let's see. I guess I think it's about. Again, we're done talking. We have all the album tracks. We're done.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts that you guys want to give?
Mixed bag.
Mixed bag. Yeah, it's god, because there's good songs here, guys. There's really good songs here, but they don't come together that well at all. And it's like, god damn it, Kanye. And there's parts of this. I mean, again, people have done restructures of this album with like the original track listing, and it comes together as like a thematic. There is some thematic cohesion to it, but for the track listing he has now, it's not. And also, we're fucking talking about an unfinished album. The album is not finished, and we're talking about it. And in like 2 weeks or whatever, when the album is actually like officially done, or whenever it's actually done, we're gonna talk about it again and say, "Oh my god, he made it! He did it! He did it again! It's so much better this time!" God fucking damn it! I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, and it's not even that there's like good songs and bad songs on this album. Like there really is there's good moments and bad moments on this album. Like you can have an amazing moment tucked inside like a bad song that is bookended by terrible moments, or you can have like a great moment that lasts an entire song. But there's no middle ground. Like things are either just like really incredible or they fall totally flat.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you because there's just so many good moments, but god, then they get ruined by bad moments or just
Yeah, there's great moments on songs I hate, like Famous, perfect example of that, loaded with amazing moments surrounded by terrible ones. And you can't draw a clear something from it.
Overall though, like, are you guys happy with that we have this album? Like, would you have preferred that he just didn't release it at all?
I don't know. That's the thing, because I need songs here that I wanted to hear really bad. Like, hearing them now, I'm like, oh wow, I'm really glad this song is in my life.
Yeah.
But as an album, I kind of wish he did wait a little bit. I really wish he didn't have this sort of process. Here's the thing. I survived Ginny death. All right, I fucking survived that shit. Man.
I'm a veteran,
and even I'm jaded from this shit. I'm like, God damn it, this is just dumb. Because with Ginny death, I think I saw someone on the Death Grip subreddit. They said
the difference
was that the Death Grip say
Ginny death was a mystery, and this was not.
Yeah, Kanye gave us way too much information, while Death Grips didn't give us that much, and that was good because the fans were able to theorize about shit, and it was fun. It was awful and terrible, but it was fun. And this is not fun. I did not have fun like following this album at all. I was just like, this is a disaster. I just want the fucking album at this point, man.
Can I say something that might make you mad, Matty?
Oh god.
In a way, I see this as kind of a similar album as Smile. But,
okay, I'm okay. I'm not gonna dismiss you. I'm with you at this. I'm with you right now.
Like. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. That it feels like
a series of snippets. It feels kind of like a failed album that they chose to release anyway. Like it's.
However, Smile, at least on Smile Sessions,
Smile doesn't have.
They sound cohesive.
Yeah,
it sounds unfinished, obviously, but it's like wow. This album felt like it was just if he just spent some like with. I'm talking about Smile. If Brian Wilson just spent some more time, if he just put if some people if certain things did not happen with that album, it would have been finished and would have sounded great. It wouldn't have been that much different from what we heard in the Smile Sessions. But this album, though, it doesn't have that feeling for me. It doesn't feel like it was just a couple mixes away from being great. It's like there's still parts on here that do sound like. I mean, I've heard some of the OG versions of these songs. It feels like these songs have been already reworked to death, and he's going to continue to rework them to death until they're right. And I don't know what right means for Kanye at this point. So
it does feel for me actually like he was just a little bit away from having a great album on his hands. Like I feel like if he hadn't just pressured himself into being like, well, it's 3 years, better put out another album, or like tried to keep the hype going up for an entire year. Like if he had just sat back and focused on like making No More Parties in LA or Real Friends tier songs and made that like a 12-song set, then we would have had a really incredible album on our hands, even if we had to wait longer for it.
If
it would have been worthwhile.
It could have been his best album, period. Like
one of them, certainly. Like top
it would have. It very likely could have been my favorite Kanye album.
Which is exactly why the product we got is so frustrating, because you're like, you were on your way there. Why did you have to derail it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's do we want to get into ratings?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna give this album 7. Hold on, wait, are you gonna go, Alex, or
wait? Are we doing head ratings or just straight up ratings?
Okay. I'm gonna give this album 7 GoPro dicks out of 10.
Okay.
How are you guys feeling?
My rating is the multi-faced head from the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy artwork.
Okay. And Stefan?
Oh, fuck. He's 7 out of 18 No More Parties in LA.
Okay. Okay, you're the comedian here, Stefan, okay? You're the one who does legitimate stand-up comedy, okay?
Yeah, I'm not an improviser, though.
That's true. Okay. Okay.
I sit and labor over the things I'm going to say. I can't be on the fly like you people.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I cannot wait to see you guys or talk to you guys again in a few weeks when the album is actually finished, where we're going to do another hour and a half long discussion of the album. Yeah.
Do you guys actually think he's going to do it, though?
What? Do more? Like he's going to...
I get the feeling that this might be it.
No, it's not. No, he said he's gonna fix Wolves, dude. I feel like he's gonna do. He's gonna play. He's gonna try. He's gonna. Okay. He's gonna play with Wolves, and he's gonna realize, oh shit, I could mess with this song too, and then it's just gonna lead to him reworking the entire album again. And it's like, god damn it, Kanye.
Okay.
Fucking stop.
Here's the thing. Kanye is making promises, but he has no need to follow up on these promises anymore. Like, there's no pressure on him.
The album's not officially released. Def Jam have said that he hasn't turned in the album.
Yeah,
so it's still unfinished.
We still don't have the copies we purchased and all that shit. But for Kanye, from Kanye's perspective, he could just walk away at this point. And considering that
I don't think Kanye would
not on other things right now, considering that
I don't feel like Kanye would walk away because
it's interested in his family and just like everything else. I think Kanye might walk away.
Are you saying
I think he could-
from like this album or just music in general?
From this album, probably from music for a while. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get another Kanye album for like 6 years or something.
Yeah,
Or
I think I'd be fine with
maybe.
Kanye. I think Kanye deserves a break.
Yeah.
Like, I just like after this album, like Kanye, I don't look. I've already found new artists to really get into. I don't need you at the moment. It's like I feel like this album. It just feels like the least important Kanye album. It wasn't. It doesn't feel necessary.
Yeah.
Like
That's
all
fair.
his albums beforehand, they felt necessary. Like this album needed to be made for the
And
mainstream.
going back-
I mean, you can make an
Like we
argument for
said,
Yeezus, like, oh, Yeezus didn't need to be made because like Death Grips, but it's like Death Grips. I mean, this is Kanye West. He made an experimental hip hop album for the mainstream essentially, and that was
Yeah.
necessary.
No, Jesus is great. Like, the way I see it, and in the way we mentioned earlier in the podcast, the reason why this album feels less essential is because all of his other albums were concentrated, focused, artistic statements, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They were all cohesive, and they all did something, and they all went somewhere. And this album doesn't do any of those things. Even though it has really amazing moments on it, it just fails to be a good project.
It just again,
Hey, wait,
again,
wait,
it
just-
just- I don't see what I don't understand. What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
That's like, what is the point of this album? What are you trying to go for? It just seems like he's all over the place, and it's like, oh, the point of the album was to be all over the place. It's like, okay, that's not. I don't consider that a good answer, but okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm disappointed. I think I'm disappointed because at first when I listened to it, I'm like, wow, this is great. But when I just dug into it deeper and deeper, I'm like, I'm not finding much to like.
Okay, wait.
I'm just
I want
happy
to
we
get
got
on
the
that
music
head
at
rating.
all.
I got a good one. I got a good head rating.
Okay.
6 out of 10 asshole-shaped bleach stains on a $200 white cotton T-shirt. Boom. You guys give me a minute, and then it's not so
Okay.
bad.
All right, there we go. Okay, so I think it's about it for this podcast.
Yep.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us ramble on about this album, and yeah,
Especially me.
especially well, I think we all did.
Yeah.
we all did.
There were a couple of times at the beginning where I said something and I was like, fuck, where was I going with this?
Oh, that's every podcast
Yeah.
for me.
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, hopefully next week we'll be talking about the new Animal Collective album, Painting With. That's going to be interesting because of the critical response.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Well, you can't spoilers, Alex. Okay, we cannot spoil our listeners that we think it's good. Okay, I have no comment. Okay, I think we need to wrap this shit up because it's like
Maybe,
an hour and a half.
maybe in a week I'll
Yeah.
hate it though.
That's true.
Maybe I'll go to their show and I'm like, that was the worst thing I've ever. Oh God, I don't want that to happen.
Okay, we need to. Okay, let's wrap this thing up. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right.